about 6 scenarios that you gotta watch and make sure that you understand them really well for you to be able to navigate through algebra in the future. So here we go. We have 7 questions. If you understand these 7 questions, then you wouldn't have any problems with algebra solving for a variable. So the first one, I'll take the first one right here. So 7m equals 42. Now, what does this mean? It means 7 times something gives you 42. Of course, why we use algebra? Because we don't want you to do it in your head. We want you to use some tools to be able to solve for this. So what this means, it's 7 times m equals 42. So if we want to isolate the m, since this relation is multiplication, we do the opposite. We divide both sides by 7. Now I'm isolating the m because these will cancel, and 42 divided by 7 is 6. And this question is done. Now let's take the next question, which is a plus 11 equals 17. Yes, I know we could guess what the answer is right away because 6 plus 11 is 17, but we don't want you to do that because algebra gets complicated. And if you start doing things in your head, then you're going to run into trouble in the future. So here, it's a plus 11 equals 17. So the relationship here is a plus 11. You're adding. So you must do the opposite. The opposite is minusing. So you minus 11 from both sides. And this will cancel. And then you get a equals 17 minus 11, which is 6. So that's how we want you to see it. Also, eventually you should learn that a plus 11 equals 17. This is added. When we move to the other side, it becomes minus. So it just becomes 17 minus 11. So when you move this to the other side, it becomes minus 11, and then it gives you 6. This is the logic. Eventually, I think you could start doing this a little bit faster by doing this. Next. C over 6 equals 3. When you have this kind of situation, I'm going to tell you one thing. The best way to do this is cross multiplying. See the 6 on the bottom, if it crosses the equal sign, it will go straight to the top. So it goes right there. And it's called cross multiplying. So when it crosses, it gets multiplied into that top. So C equals 6 times 3. Cross multiplying is a great tool that we could use in algebra. And it will serve you a great deal. And it makes things a lot easier than what they look. So now that gives me 18. The other option, C over 6 equals 3. This is division, so to get rid of this, multiply both sides by 6. And this will cancel. Then you get C equals 18. The choice is yours. I highly recommend cross multiplying because it's such an amazing tool in math and algebra that we use, and it makes our life so much easier. And we'll move on to the next question. (19) equals x plus 6. It kind of look like this right here, but it's written backwards. But it's the same thing, you know. If you don't like the way it looks right here, you could just rewrite it as x plus 6 equals 19, and you're fine doing that. And now, as I said, if you want to do it the fast way, you move the 16 to the other side, it becomes 19 minus 6, which is 13. And that's your answer. Now, if you want to do it from here, the same thing. You could want to leave it like this. You could just go, okay, I'm going to minus 6 from both sides. Now this will cancel, and 19 minus 6 gives me 13 equals x. So these are the 2 different options. It's good in math to look at different options, you know, and whichever one you're comfortable with, use it. But I always gonna tell you that how you could do things a bit faster. As you advance in mathematics, time becomes critical, and if you could do it a bit faster and start seeing it in your head that this is much faster way, then you go ahead and do it. Let's go to the next question. So we have k minus 6 equals 8. So the fast way I say, because this is k minus 6, when it moves to the other side, it becomes 8 plus 6. So when something moves to the other side, the equal sign changes to positive, and therefore k equals 14. The other way, k minus 6 equals 8. To get rid of that minus 6, I add 6 to this side, and whatever I do to the left side, I do to the right side. That will cancel, and k equals 14. We'll do the next one. $30 equals W over 2. Something like this, but it's written backwards. Cross multiplying. I highly recommend it. See, you should recognize these kind of situations. As the minute you see them, I say, yeah, I'm going to cross multiply. So 2 times 30, right there. The 2 crosses the equal sign. It goes to the top. So it becomes 30 times 2 equals W, which is 60 equals W. And that's what W is. Now, the next one. $27 over X equals 3. Now, you compare it to this, you say, this is trickier because here the W is on top, but here, you know, or your unknown was on top in both questions right here, but now the unknown is on the bottom. So there's another trick. Just remember this, that will help you a great deal in the future. This one here, just remember it, because it'll make a huge difference for you when you're doing advanced math. See, because it's like that, you could cross this here and cross the 3 there. You're allowed to do that. So the X goes there and the 3 comes there. So they exchange places, and they don't have, so they just exchange places. Okay, so 27 over 3 equals X. So basically what the X went where the 3 is, and the 3 came where the X is, and this is gives you 9 equals X. And you know 27 divided by 9 equals 3 if you want to double check. Okay, now I'm just going to show you one more example to show you that, yes, a lot of this you could see it without even having to do the work that we've shown you, but you really must practice this kind of work, because once I make this complicated and I say 3x minus 9 equals 18, then you won't be able to see it right away. Here, a lot of students will see what the answer is right away without even going through the algebra. Here, you won't be able to see it right away. It needs a lot of thinking, and that's why we use the algebra tools, so we could solve something like this using the tools that we have. Now, how we do this? Should I divide both sides by 3? Should I move the negative 9 to the other side and make it plus? Always, it's the adding and subtracting that you have to move to the other side. So if you want to go plus 9 to both sides, plus 9, and you get 3x equals 27. And now you could divide both sides by 3, and x equals 9. Yeah, if you want to double check, you go 3 times 9, because x is 9 minus 9 should give you 18. And 27 minus 9 gives you definitely 18. And so 18 equals 18. Check. Yeah. These here, when I have 3x minus 9 equals 18, because I became so good at algebra, I moved the negative 9 to the other side, make it a plus. So I don't add 9 to both sides. It's the same thing though, 18 plus 9. 3x equals 27. And therefore divide both sides by 3, and you get x equals 9. I can't emphasize enough this here. This is your key to algebra. This is the basics that you must know this, because this is the exact basics that you need to make your life a lot easier in the future. Cross multiplying. I cannot emphasize enough cross multiplying. Always think cross multiplying. Okay, and if you like what I'm doing, Don't forget to hit the like button and then subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.